56, linebacker. First year with the Tiger Cats and first year in the CFL.
To have a look at it, Winston October, I mean, this guy can break the big one at any time.
Very dangerous. Surprising that Montreal kind of let him go, but they've got their own burner there in Stokes. So that leaves October coming to the Eskies.
They actually have another one in DeMarco Archangel. I mean, they're loaded over there in La Belle Provence. We're going to take a short break. 9:07 remaining in quarter number 2. Edmonton leading 17-1. Welcome back, and an interesting situation as we see Bruiser doing his dance, and Pigskin Pete has a little bit of help, and nice to see Bruiser here because there's going to be some good hockey played in this town this year.
Oh, it sure is. There's a lot of excitement around the Hamilton Bulldogs now with the local ownership. Steve's dad, Ron Foxcroft, getting in there with lots of local. Yeah, what else? Exactly. He's got his hand in everything: basketball, hockey, football. Anyway, an exciting time.
Edmonton's their worst field position of the afternoon, starting from the 18-yard line, and John Avery gets to the 20.
And one of the newcomers for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in on that play, number 57, Cedric Clark, late cuts in the NFL camps, came to camp a couple of weeks ago. Cedric with an S, playing the right defensive end spot, taking Lamont Bryant's position out there. Cheatwood still at the left defensive end.
And it's interesting, one of the things Steve always says is that, Steve Foxcroft, of course, we're talking about, is the CFL starts at Labor Day, especially with some of those NFL cuts. He could make a big difference. Ricky Ray again backing up, throws, and it's intercepted. What a tremendous play by Dietrich Mathis. Brazel might have been a little lazy there.
Mathis having a great season, really, for the Hamilton Tiger Cats defense. Stepping up into the pocket is Ricky Ray, looking downfield for that out pattern. Mathis stepping in front, keeping 1 foot in bounds, and for Mathis, that's a few interceptions in this football season. And gives the Cats their best field position of the game at the 29-yard line.
Wow.
Here, we see it once again. Getting high in the air with a tough catch there in front of Brazel.
It's a highlight reel stuff. Well, all fingers point to Danny McManus right now, and I mean, we can talk about this all day long. And defense once again comes up, makes a big play, but the offense has to respond. And when I say respond, not with an Osbaldiston field goal. Osbaldiston has been dynamite in kicking field goals. He leads the league in field goal percentage and amount of field goals made. But you have to wonder sometimes, is that a good stat?
It means that your offense isn't able to punch it in the red zone there within the 20-yard line. And while Oz is having, like you said, a great season, both not only in the points department, but also punting the ball and pinning the other team deep in their end. It's really a sad statement on the Cats not able to process field position into touchdowns.
36 out of 43 for 83.7 clip on kicking this season. His field goals, he's been perfect on his extra points. I mean, again, we talk about Sean Fleming. He's second in the league with 29 field goals. So that's a big difference there.
It is a telling stat.
17-1, second quarter action. You're watching the Cats on Cogeco, and this will mean tons for the Tiger Cats if they can get into the end zone here from the shotgun on first down and 10. McManus throws to the end zone. He's got Aikens off his fingertips.
Pretty good coverage there by Kellogg. McManus having to throw it over Aikens' head. Aikens unable to stretch it out. Lots of man-up coverage, of course. The Tiger Cats going with only the single player in the backfield. 6 receivers, and will overload sometimes one side or the other, creating mismatches.
I'm going to have to say this. This could be 3-down territory right now. Could be. 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side of the set. Flutie goes in motion as a slot back right side. Here comes the blitz, and it's thrown, and Flutie just kind of ran into his defensive back. The crowd and maybe even Flutie looking for flags. None to be thrown. Ran into Garrett.
Well, the timing on the Tiger Cat offense, again, just not there. The blitz coming from the Edmonton Eskimos. McManus feeling the pressure. What that is supposed to be is probably a little curl-up route, curl and go. And McManus just had to throw the ball a little too early.
The Box J boys are a little disturbed. They're looking a little down and out. Not too happy. They'll be the first to let you know as well, too. Mike Thibodeau and his crew. Time is running down there. The clock has started. Seems to be some confusion on the field as towards.
It looked as though initially that the Cats only had 11 players.
Well,
so they were waiting for a 12th.
They actually stopped the clock as the official blew the whistle, so might have been granted a little luck there. So Osbaldiston comes on again. Coach Lancaster choosing to perhaps get some points on the board. Out of the hold of Andrew Grigg, and again, some confusion at the line of scrimmage.
Could you please reset the 20-second clock to read 6 seconds? The 20-second clock to read 6 seconds.
As I thought, that clock was tumbling down. They're going to have to reset it to 6 seconds. So they will have to get this snap and kick off rather quickly. At least the snap. Coach Lancaster has his hands on his hips. Tom Higgins is halfway. Well, actually, he's on the sidelines. The special teams coach is nearing midfield. Nice smirk out of the face of Lancaster. They do get the snap off. Osbaldiston drills this through. And more points for the Tiger Cats. Again, it's of the 3 variety, not the 7 variety, but you take what you can get, I guess.
Right.
Again, now Osbaldiston and Alfred Payton in each other's face. I don't know if I like that matchup.
Some hot tempers going on here. You figure Edmonton Hamilton, not the big rivalries like, say, Toronto Hamilton or an Edmonton Calgary or something like that. However, we've already had a little bit of a scrap in this game. Even after the extra point there, a couple of guys going at it.
And Payton will talk with anybody. He'll talk with the crowd. I remember coming to a game here a number of years ago when he was just in his prime with the Alouettes, a playoff game. And he was right in the face. We were sitting again, just kind of off behind the Cats in some seats, and he was jarring with a fan all game long. One of the best ever at his position, though. And the best at his position in the CFL, the running back, that's Avery, skipping over the 40-yard line, and again, a solid gain on first down.
6 yards on first down.
Has that quick little cutback.
He does. He has that shifting gears thing. Must love the CFL with the extra yardage on either side of the field there.
Once again, it's in the hands of the Hamilton defense to come up with a big-time play. 5 wide receiver set. Empty backfield for Ricky Ray. They rush 4. He dumps it off, and it is incomplete. Chose the easy route in trying to dump it off to Hervey, and again, Diedrich Mathis blanketing Ed Hervey.
Another good play by Mathis. Hervey perhaps looking for the flag there. Good pressure there by the Cats all the way around the pocket, collapsing in on Ray. Mathis over the back of Hervey, but able to stay off him long enough to knock the ball away.
Sean Fleming standing back at his own 26, awaiting a snap. Again, the Cats will send 11 as Miles stands back at his 25. Here come the Cats one more time, but a great job of protecting the punter. Miles settles in at the 32, the 35, and not much more. Downfield was Roger Reeson with the tackle.
Justin Ring also down there with the tackle. Local product there, Justin.
Speaking of local talent, nice to see Tim Baker in the house. Edmonton Eskimo offensive lineman, outstanding Canadian star with Western. And you take it all the way back into the all Bubba days with Oakville Trafalgar.
Whoa,
the high school. So good for him. Nice to see him contributing. Big number 50. I think he's on the sidelines, a big offensive lineman, and hamming it up with the boys. He's made it big time. 17-4. Second quarter action, and again that fake reverse, and it's Flutie. Flutie was wide open. Nice little misdirection on that double play action by McManus, and he put the ball right in the middle.
Boy, you got that right, Bubs. We haven't seen much in the way of creativity from this Hamilton offense, but watch this. Fake to Jarrett, fake to Archie, then downfield. All the linebackers are frozen. Just over the linebackers comes the ball, and underneath comes Darren Flutie. That's a huge gain. That's into Edmonton territory.
From the 49, they run the football. Jared Smith spins and tumbles over the 45-yard line of the Eskimos.
And I don't think the Eskimos have quite figured that out yet, that formation. Because if you go with Smith, you've got to keep somebody back there honest on the defensive right-hand side, because Smith is going to come off left tackle. If you give the ball to Amerson, he's shifty, he's got the moves, he's going to come around the right hand of the offensive side. If it's a fake, all the linebackers are frozen, having to watch for the runners. That leaves guys like Flutie, Grigg, Shaw open.
Second down and 6, and very quick to respond there.
One of the most blatant offsides I've seen in a long time.
I'll tell you, Albert Reese was coming.
He shot out of a cannon.
Edmonton, number 95, still second down.
So that'll make things a lot easier for the Cats in terms of offensive play calls. Second down and 1. Maybe you can have a little fun with this one, as you were talking about. Maybe a little bit of creativity from offensive coordinator R.D. Lancaster. McManus in tight, but they keep it basic. And it's Jared Smith just going over center, and he should be very close to a first down.
Keeping it pretty simple, I guess, for the Cats. You got to be happy just to execute the plays you've got in there and have no mistakes. Smith tripped as he crosses the 40-yard line, but dives up over the 38-yard stripe.
Hamilton could be criticized, and you go back to last week, a third quarter where the Argonauts gave them every opportunity to take back a lead. But for whatever reason, they didn't take advantage. And now looking to take advantage is Darren Flutie, trying to find some separation from his defensive back. McManus again just giving the opportunity to the wide receivers to run underneath it. But that one thrown a little hard.
Two things on that play. First of all, once again, the timing, certainly a well-thrown ball. Should have been perhaps a little more to the outside for Flutie. Secondarily, you see Andrew Grigg there in the huddle. He was complaining of some hard contact there in the defensive secondary of Edmonton.
Shannon Garrett all over Flutie there once again in tight coverage. Flutie lining up as a slot back, right-hand side. He is in motion. 6 wide receivers on the field. McManus drills it in there. And here comes a flag.
Took a little while, Bubs, but yeah, that flag was coming. And as we'll see the replay, we'll see very clearly Amerson coming down from a deep kind of post pattern or a deep in pattern. And what will happen is the defender will make contact with Amerson on the shoulders and bump him forward.
Daryl Crutchfield coming in there as a 6th defensive back.
Here's the replay once again. You might be able to see the contact.
Forward pass interference. Edmonton number 4. First down.
I wouldn't want to be relying on too many of those.
A little bit difficult to tell. See if we can tell any better here. Oh, just the end of it we kind of see. And Amerson, of course, at 5'8", not too hard to knock off his feet.
Just a little bit of contact. Timeout on the field. We'll take timeout in the broadcast. 17-4, Edmonton leading, but Hamilton knocking on the door. Welcome back to Ivor Wynne Stadium. Hamilton Tiger Cats, Edmonton Eskimos doing battle as we have a shot at head coach Tom Higgins. His team sailing along atop the West with a 10-3 record. Sailing along has been the offense of the Edmonton Eskimos, but on the flip side, maybe something coming out of Danny McManus and company. First down and 10. McManus to the end zone. Broken up. Tony Miles waiting for the football, and a good defensive play from the DB to get back into coverage and break it up.
And the key there, waiting for the football. McManus has a little more zip on that one, a little bit less loft. Miles has this in his back pocket because he had the defender beaten by 2 or 3 yards. He was only 17 yards down the field, and he still had the defender beaten. But because the ball was so far up, there you see him with the close. And a good play there by the defender, but if McManus would have had more zip on that one, that would have been 6.
Shannon Garrett has been looked at from McManus on a couple of occasions, but he's been equal to the task. Second down and 10 under a heavy blitz. The throw to Flutie. Flutie tumbles in for a touchdown. Flags are on the play. Again, McManus takes a big hit. Hung in there and delivered the football. They were coming off the corners, and just a wonderful catch.
Forward pass interference. Edmonton number 29, decline.
You hear the call, the pass interference call against the Edmonton Eskimos. Might have either been against Flutie or against Amerson. There you see, it looked okay on Flutie's part. Bouncing off the defender, rolling in for the touchdown. Hamilton is finally, with 2:37 left in the first half, back in this football game.
.237 left in the half. And what has been a 17-0 could be a possible blowout. Here come the Cats. The perennial slow starters are knocking on the door one more time. Why does it have to be this way?
Ask Ron Lancaster, head coach.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know why. It's always the same kind of thing. Here we see McManus back to pass. Gets hit as he delivers the ball. Man up coverage. Flutie able to roll off. You see the flag late. Again, that I believe was against the defender who was covering Amerson rather than Flutie. Just a good catch by Flutie.
An 18-yard one. So that's 3 receptions for Flutie. Getting a little closer. 6 away now. So everyone can take a big sigh of relief. And you know what? Even as a quarterback like Danny McManus, who's only been around for 13 years, even he has to feel confidence.
It's good to have the Cats get the points in the end zone if you're a Hamilton supporter. Now, if you're on Hamilton's defense, though, you don't relax. You don't let Edmonton get the momentum with a late touchdown in the half that will take them into halftime with Old Mo, as they say. You got to keep the momentum if you're the Cats, hopefully with a 2-0.
High, short kickoff from Osbaldiston. Avery, lots of running room, closed down quickly by the Cats.
You had to hit the nail on the head there, Bubs. Closed down quickly. It did look like he had quite a bit of running room. Up to the 35, that's not bad field position, but then again, if you're the Cats, that's not the greatest one to start from.
You see what he was doing there with his hands. He said he was an inch away. Coach Lancaster doing a little hand slapping, hand jiving. Maybe feeling that his team feels like they can play with this Edmonton Eskimo team.
Plenty of time for the Eskimos to still score before halftime comes.
Pigskin Pete, classic. Fans now getting involved on 1st down and 10. Ricky Ray, straight drop back with time, scrambles out of the pocket. He had to run.
Great downfield coverage in that case. Ray not finding anybody. Darren McField, 99, on the middle. Larry Fitzpatrick takes kind of an outside route. Ray gets upfield wisely, puts his head down in front of Haven Fields.
Where is Terry Vaughn? 1 reception. He came into this game with 76 on the year, leading the league. 2nd down and 6 for Ray. 6 wide receivers on the field. Pressure being applied. Ray just throws it up and out of bounds. A smart play by Ray just to get rid of it, but goodness, you could have found a more direct route.
He put that one way up in the air. Chris Schelling standing there licking his chops on the sideline, just hoping for wanting the ball to come down. But finally some very good downfield pressure by the Tiger Cats. That's Lamont Bryant, 53, getting in the face of Ricky Ray. That ball's up, and away.
Sean Fleming right back to his 30 or his 25-yard line, awaiting his snap. He does get it, a good one. No pressure being applied, and he shanks it. A horrible punt, which they'll mark at the 51-yard line for the Eskimos. So you talked about Old Mo. Old Mo is here at Ivor Wynne Stadium in favor of the Cats.
Oh, it sure is. There's a real turnover of
what was
enormous
that?
Proportions. That's Hank the Shank type stuff is what that is.
Yuck.
That's way out of bounds. And it's funny, I believe earlier in the season when the Cats lost 33-5 to the Edmonton Eskimos up in Edmonton, Paul Osbaldiston had his worst punt of the year, like 2 or 3 yards off the side of his foot. Couldn't explain it, just one of those things.
From the 54-yard line, Danny McManus has his offense in gear. 6 wide receivers. Pressure being applied. He dumps it off to Jared Smith. And goodness gracious, a great tackle by Jerome Peterson.
Jerome Peterson fills in Jared Smith, who made a good play just to catch the ball. You'll see this one is tipped just after it gets out of the hands of McManus right there. Smith bobbles it a bit, can't recover his feet enough, has to take the pounding.
Maureen Tilson Diamond. Maybe the queen of Cogeco. That's what I'm going to call her. The queen of Cogeco. 2nd down and 8. McManus looking down the sideline. He's got Grigg. Grigg's on the run. The 10-5 touchdown. Hamilton Tiger Cats. They have tied the football game.
What a turn of events here at Ivor Wynne Stadium. Edmonton running away with this one in the first quarter. It was 17-0. Still had 6 minutes left in the first quarter. People still hadn't gotten to their seats. Well, it's a good thing they didn't, because they would have missed a lousy game by the Cats. Now they're back, all the fans in their seats, and seeing a great game by the Hamilton offense. Andrew Grigg just down the sidelines, and notice that McManus threw that one on a line. It was on a B, and that's the way that had to be. None of that floating stuff. As you see Ozzie with the extra point. McManus had to throw that one hard, because what happens there is it allows Grigg, after he catches the ball, to cut back inside the defensive secondary coverage that's got the deep out coverage. And he goes in for 6.
His 3rd touchdown of the season. McManus's 18th touchdown pass of the year.
3 plays, 54 yards, only 32 seconds off of the clock.
How did all this happen? Did this start at the Hitchcock interception?
I'm not sure where exactly it started. Perhaps the Cats thought it was like a 120 start or a 130 start this afternoon, and so they just didn't show up. And I guess the Eskies thinking, oh, well, this one's in the bag. You know, you're going to win this one 90-0. Just goes to show you the ebb and the flow of professional football.
Andrew Grigg, and he's holding on to that football. He wants that one. That one's his. It's a little special to him.
Thrust into the wide receiver spot. Starting wide receiver spot this year.
Every time, again, he's one of those guys. Every time he comes on the field, he reminds me a lot of, even more so of a Trevor Shaw. Every time he comes on the field, something to contribute. Winston October. Up across the 30-yard line. Randy Bowles, the first one down there. And, you know, Randy Bowles is a big guy.
He is a big guy. He's more of the fullback type rather than Jared Smith, as a matter of fact. Not as much speed as Smith. And you got to have those line busters, the guys who just charge down the field and throw their bodies in to disrupt the blocking of the Eskimos. That allowed Sean Woodson, number 17, to come in for the tackle short of the 35.
Randy Bowles, 6'1", 228 pounds of beef. The fans are back into the football game.
Hitchcock getting them involved.
First down and 10 for Ricky Ray from his own 32-yard line. Single setback. That's John Avery. Avery again with the cutback. Feeling it to the 35.
Elusive football player there, John Avery. And while the Tiger Cat defense, they're pumped, just takes little moves by Avery to create some open space. This could have been very dangerous. All the pursuit is going to the left. You're right. With the quick feet, it allows him to move in any direction possible. Fortunately, Woodson able to contain Avery there and force him back inside.
Didn't you move like that in your old days?
Only to the fridge.
Second down and 5 for Ricky Ray, facing a 4-man front, and it's quarterback down.
Finally, the Hamilton Tiger Cats get to Ricky Ray. Deron McField, number 99, one of the newer players on that Tiger Cat defense. They were looking for big things out of him from the defensive tackle spot. Fights off initially the guard pressure, then the center takes him. Ray comes out, rolls out of the pocket. Not really a blocking fault by the Edmonton Eskimos. That's one of those where it might have been a coverage sack also, because the Ray found nobody downfield, allowed McField, speaking of fields, to come down, fight off his own man, slide across the defensive line and make the tackle.
McField out of UBC, a Vancouver native. You talked about the CanCon on this team. They're getting it done, and there's a pumped-up D lineman set. Just relaxing there. They've done their job. Again, the Cats will be going after Fleming. And now they settle back in. Tony Miles settles underneath with the football. Running towards the wide side of the field at the 50. He's at midfield. Here comes Tony Miles. Tony Miles is all pumped up. This is where did this team come from?
They're a team that must have started at 1:30, like I said. Miles pumped up, late flag down on the play, and again, some tempers are flaring there. Could have been a face mask a little bit late. That ball kicked by Fleming, floating up in the air, allowing the blocking to set up, and that's all important. Take a look at the blocks here. 1, 2. Miles able to slip a couple of tackles there. There's another block outside. I believe that's by Mathis.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Hamilton, 56. First down.
Very interesting. There's one of the CanCons. You're talking about Scott Coe with the unnecessary roughness call. Cats had the ball in Eskimo territory, still with over a half minute to play. There you see Coe at the bottom of your screen. Let's try and find out what, if anything, he does on this play. Perhaps a late hit. There's the tackle made on the play. Yeah, a bit of a late shove. What is that for? I don't understand.
Gotta keep your composure. 34 seconds left in the half. McManus again under pressure. He dumps it off over the middle. Tony Miles juking. Tony Miles with speed. Tony Miles, the late cut from the St. Louis Rams, and you can't make a Rams team if you don't have speed.
You and Steve were at the preseason game in London, Toronto and Hamilton. Miles, one of the most exciting players we've seen on Hamilton in a couple of years. Great speed out of that wide receiver spot. Now he's come from the outside to the inside, makes a move to freeze the linebacker, gets a big block by Smith.
McManus again throwing wide open. Wide open is Tony Aikens. That's a touchdown.
I have never seen such a change of fortune in a football game over one half.
39 yards.
10 seconds remaining in the half. The Cats reel off 23 points with the extra point, 24 points in a little over a quarter of play. Incredible.
They are facing one of the best defensive teams in the league, and they're getting shredded.
And it looks as though the Edmonton defense, for some reason, took a few too many shots in the head because they're standing around stunned. You called it. Aikens, as we see the extra point, was wide open.
Wow. I hope you saw all of this first half.
Tony Aikens. Notice that in that drive, two of the key plays were Miles and Aikens. 3 plays, 59 yards, a 39-yard TD. Only 26 seconds off of the clock. My goodness.
They are striking quick and often in the second quarter. And that time they had pressure once again at McManus. But he is finding some holes in that defensive secondary of the Edmonton Eskimos.
Love to find out how Aikens looked so wide open, whether there was blown coverage on the man coverage there, or whether they were thinking perhaps a little bit of zone. I saw one defender off to the defensive right-hand side. It was good and deep, but he just didn't react to Aikens when the ball was delivered.
Only 10 seconds remain, and there's Danny McManus. And the last time we showed you a shot of him sitting in that stance, he had just thrown an interception that had been run back for a touchdown. Certainly a different expression on his face right now.
Changing fortunes in this football game. Now, if you're the Cats, perhaps if you're Oz, you squib the ball low, perhaps to try and run off this final 10 seconds. Don't give up any big plays.
Winston October and John Avery can certainly do that. He'll kick this one deep. Nice kickoff by Osbaldiston. It is Winston October. Winston October again tackle from behind at the 28-yard line. It appeared that Kareem Grant made the tackle. Big number 92. We've talked about him. He's going to make an impact on this team sometime coming into the playoffs.
Very high on Kareem Grant. Another CanCon type guy. Tried it in the NFL for a little over a year. Unsuccessful.
He will make a difference, that is for sure. On a team that, in terms of the pass rush, let's be honest, last year this defensive linebacking core was built around Joe Montford for the last 3 or 4 seasons. It's more of a team thing this year. Ricky Ray will just watch the seconds count off, and a stunning change of events. And the fans are on there. It's a standing ovation. A standing ovation from the Hamilton crowd. Let's go down to Adidas Adanzovic on the side.
Down here with Coach Ron Lancaster, who had quite the surprising latter half of the second quarter.
Yeah, you know, we didn't start very well. That wasn't a very good start. But the thing about it is that there's a long way to go in the game when that happens, and the players don't give up, and they come back, and then things get going if you just give it a chance. You know, you're going to play 60 minutes anyway. Let's play them hard.
Seems like the Ticats like to play that way all the time.
Yeah, I'd like to change it a little bit and make it a little bit easier, but it doesn't look like that's our way this year. So you got to live with it and go with it.
Thanks very much, Coach Ron Lancaster. Back to you guys.
Well, the coach looks as stunned as we are. There's no doubt Coach Lancaster is not one to keep his emotions hidden.
No, he tells it like it is.
He tells it like it is, and he's as aghast as we are, and as well as 15,000 odd fans are here at Ivor Wynne. A change of fortunes in half. They came out, they just didn't execute in the first quarter.
As perplexed sometimes as Coach Lancaster has been this year, certainly this performance by his team has him even more perplexed. You look at the first quarter stats, 100 yards more net offense for the Edmonton Eskimos over the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and they built a 17-0 lead. But you look at the score at halftime, and it's Hamilton 25, Edmonton 17.
That is your score at halftime. You've seen a pretty exciting 30 minutes. I can guarantee you the latter 30 minutes will be just as exciting, if not more. Won't you join us?
Cable 14 presents a very special afternoon with Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, Thursday, October 10th. Join us for live coverage of Royal Visit 2002 as the Queen of England presents new regimental colours to the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders of Canada. It will be an afternoon of music and pageantry that you won't soon forget. Royal Visit 2002 is live on Cable 14 Thursday, October 10 from 12 p.m.
Zero, nil, nada, zip, nothing, rien, zilch, zero hero. Be a zero hero. Be the person who chooses to consume no alcoholic beverages prior to or during an event in order to provide your friends with a safe ride home. Plan ahead, drink responsibly, be a designated driver, call home, take a cab, or stay overnight.
OSID and this station wants you to arrive alive. Drive sober.
The Canadian Ballet Youth Ensemble presents the classic children's tale Snow White, Sunday, October 6th. You'll love this thrilling adaptation of the Brothers Grimm story set to motion on stage for a special performance. Just back from the Ukraine. Join the stars of the Kiev Ballet at Hamilton Place for a 2 p.m. showing of Snow White on Sunday, October 6th. Just call Ticketmaster or Cops Coliseum for your tickets to Snow White, Sunday, October 6th, presented by Cable 14.
It's the best of both worlds. The Hamilton Bulldogs are stronger than ever with the support of the Montreal Canadiens and the Edmonton Oilers. Get your season tickets to the best game on ice. Go to HamiltonBulldogs.com or call 905-529-8500 for your season tickets. The Canadiens and the Oilers backing the Bulldogs. It's the best of both worlds.
Theatre Aquarius celebrates its 30th season of professional theatre in the region with 12 exciting new plays. War Brides, a musical, takes the main stage from September 18th through October 5th. Follow the memorable stories of 3 remarkable war brides who marry Canadian soldiers and then come to Canada to start a new life. War Brides, a musical, is a powerful and touching production with music and lyrics by Joey Miller and book by Graham Woods. Call the Theatre Aquarius box office at 905-522-7529 for your tickets or season subscriptions.
Welcome back to Ivor Wynne Stadium. Cats on Cogeco. It's the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the Edmonton Eskimos. And the Edmonton Eskimos went up to a 17-point lead, and it's been the Hamilton Tiger Cats scoring 25 unanswered points. Phil McLaughlin joins me here, second half action. And what a great half of football we've seen so far.
Talking about value for your money for Cats fans, you get to see 2 games for the price of 1. Eskimos up 17-0, totally dominating. After the first quarter stats, net offense, Edmonton with over 100 yards more net offense. Of course, one big play also in the first quarter was the interception return for the touchdown by the Eskimos against Danny McManus.
One of the most perplexed men has to be head coach Tom Higgins of the Edmonton Eskimos. Adida down on the sidelines. He's got him.
Right now here with Edmonton Eskimo coach Tom Higgins. And Tom, quite the surprising latter half of the second quarter. What'd you tell the boys back there that they need to do now?
Well, we want the first quarter results, not the second quarter. It was rather interesting, but you got to make your own breaks. What's nice is that there's still 30 minutes to see if we can get ourselves right back in the game and have a chance to win it.
Good luck, Coach Higgins.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. And back to you guys out there to see if the Ticats can pull this one off or whether or not the Edmonton Eskimos will make a run at it.
Well, Coach Higgins very even-tempered and realizes that there is 30 minutes left to play, but emotionally, his spirits seem fine. Don't know if that's what's going on in the locker room. I don't know.
Well, Higgins, I believe, has always never been a real shout-in-your-face, rah-rah type of guy. He's always been pretty even-tempered.
Second half is underway. Again, a short kickoff from Osbaldiston, and it's Winston October from inside the 20, changing his direction. Winston October to midfield, and tackled inside Hamilton territory, and you didn't want that to start off.
You could see that one coming from a long way away. Edmonton Eskimos executing very well on special teams, able to set up the good kickoff return. We'll see it here. October, he's going to cut to his right. He gets the blocking inside. He gets the blocking outside. Walters is pushed to the outside. He's got Avery as the lead blocker. Look at that hole he's got. 15, 20 yards either side of him.
The Edmonton Eskimos are quarterbacked by Ricky Ray, and he has 5 wide receivers. John Avery as his setback, and he uses them. John Avery off the left-hand side, meeting stiff resistance. And he runs into Cheatwood and Fields. And they will certainly, and I'm talking about the Hamilton defensive front, have to sharpen up and stop John Avery on first down. He was very successful in the first half.
58 yards rushing in the first half for Edmonton, only 24 yards for the Cats. But the Cats, who had only 10 yards passing in the first quarter, wound up the half with 192 compared to Edmonton's 120.
The down and distance favoring Hamilton. Second down and 9. They rush 4 at Ricky Ray. Good time, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. Ryan Walters, the intended target. And it was broken up by Dwayne Butler.
Just touch on those first half stats once again. Edmonton with 12 first downs, Hamilton with 11. Return yards 103 for Edmonton, Hamilton 151, but then again they had a lot more kicks to return in that first half. Penalty yards, Hamilton 5 for 50, Edmonton 5 for 55. Kind of interesting. I thought it might be a little more against Hamilton there. Turnovers 1 aside. Points from turnovers, Edmonton 7, Hamilton 3.
Sean Fleming doing some punting for the Eskimos, and a very effective punt here. And that'll take a bounce out at the 13. They'll spot it at the 12-yard line. A very nice punt coming from the opposite hash mark by Sean Fleming.
And that's the way to do it also. You want to try as a kicker to kick it from the opposite over to the wide side of the field, and there's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, if it is a shank, if you've got it going off one way or the other, it's probably going to go a little bit further downfield if you're kicking it crossways, because it's got a little further to go, of course. There we see Fleming with the kick. If it goes straight on, well, it's going to go into the end zone, and you get a single point out of it anyway.
The Hamilton offense is on the field, led by Danny McManus, of course, and he will utilize the inside handoff from the shotgun. And Jared Smith doing his best to fill the shoes of one Troy Davis, who was leading the CFL in rushing before he went down with a bit of a wrist problem.
That's right, broken wrist. He's got the cast on the wrist. Davis still feels he can't play. Pretty much the medical staff has said you can't do much more damage to it if you do play, but boy, the Cats would love to establish a ground game, and they've got Dwayne Ford back in there now for the lighted punch.
False start, but definitely a formation the Cats don't use too often with McManus in the shotgun. A couple of backs in beside him for protection.
Time count infraction. Hamilton, number 14, still second down.
Phil, how important right now is it for McManus, and we've talked about this over and over again, but going into the second half now with a 8-point lead, about protecting the football.
Well, that's right, and perhaps that's why Dwayne Ford is in there to give McManus a little bit extra time back there in pass protection, and also making sure that perhaps he might not throw an interception.
McManus on the little look-in pattern to Aikens. He's about a yard short of the first down, but boy, did McManus utilize the right arm on that pass.
Zinged that ball in there. We talked about that on the touchdown pass to Andrew Grigg, how he was able to zing that ball in there. So I don't think there's ever been a complaint about McManus's arm strength. For some reason, if you're trying to pinpoint why this offense has sputtered so poorly throughout the regular season, it's a lot of people look to that intangible called timing.
Osbaldiston on 3rd down and 2 will be punting. It's all the way back at his 5-yard line, and here come the Eskimos. They are looking for Osbaldiston, and he delivers a gem. Winston October from the 46. Nowhere to go.
Excellent downfield play there by number 6, Troy Saunders, for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He was the first man down there, and in fact slowed up as you're supposed to, giving 5 yards first of all to the punt returner October, and then once he'd caught the ball right here, see, October is just going to be shadowed by Saunders one way or the other. No, back this way, no, try this way. Saunders fights up a block, his first guy in there for the tackle.
Look at John McDonald. Somehow he ended up with the football, and he thought something was up. Let's have a look. Phil, have a look at this offensive line of the Edmonton Eskimos, who have been so efficient this season.
Well, they start with Beaton and Morris at the tackles, Kaminsky and Groenwegen, of course, the longtime veteran at the guards, and Tim Princeton playing center. Slot back, Terry Vaughn, haven't seen much of him today, and you commented about that in the first half. Vaughn, one of the top receivers thus far in the CFL. Going with Walters at the other slot back, Tucker and Hervey at the wideouts. Avery, of course, 1,001 yards coming into this football game in the backfield for Ricky Ray.
Terry Vaughn leads the league in receptions with 1,025, or change that with 76, excuse me. He's got 1,025 yards worth of receiving. That's only second to Milt Stiegel over there in Winnipeg, who's having a tremendous year once again. 8 touchdowns for Terry Vaughn, and he's got 1 ball caught in this football game and 1 ball thrown to him, period.
I think perhaps if you're the offensive coordinator for the Edmonton Eskimos, you're going to ask your quarterback, so what is Hamilton doing that's stopping you from getting Vaughn the football? Because not only is he a great pass catcher, it's what you do after the catch, get those yak yards that, of course, Vaughn is able to do so well.
Ricky Ray is 6'3", quarterback out of Sacramento State. Off the play action, rolling right, looking downfield, looking to buy time. And again, a great job downfield of coverage by the likes of Mathis and Butler, Fisher and Hitchcock.
Again, you hit it right on the head. That is a coverage play there. Chris Schelling chasing all the way from his right linebacker spot, chasing him all the way along the field. As Cheatwood gets caught inside, thinking Avery's going to get the ball. Hayden Fields will chase him outside, but there you see Schelling coming all the way across the field with the long run, limiting it to a short gain.
2nd down and 7, and what has been an very effective offense from the Eskimos has been in stall mode lately. Ray with again time, and he just threw to Brazel, and he could only come down with 1 hand on it. Nearly dangerous by going up there and just slapping it down with 1 hand.
And it's a good thing he did slap it down. I think that would have been tipped up in the air. It would have been Tiger Cat football. Ray with some time, but not a whole lot. Just as he was getting rid of the football, he's going to be hit here, I believe, by one of the defensive ends. See the Cheatwood 49. Yeah, there's Cheatwood right there, getting his hand in there and perhaps knocking Ray off his ball.
Fleming well back at his own 38, awaiting his snap. He gets one. No rush, and again, Fleming, other than the 1 shank he's had, has been awesome. Miles from his own 6. Nothing but white shirts, but Tony Miles has got good speed. Tony Miles making something out of nothing.
Boy, that was an exciting play. You gotta love Miles, as you said, for making something out of nothing. He had to get by about 7 or 8 or 9 Edmonton Eskimos who all had clear shots at him. First, he started off in the one direction, and then reversed his field, as they say. He's going to start off towards his right and see that nothing is there. 1, 2, 3 Eskimos there. Now he's going to reverse back to his left, makes one guy miss. That little stutter step. A.J. Gass, one of the defensive players of the week, last week for Edmonton, he's going to miss. Little block up the middle, little seam. Cats are up to 34.
28 yards on the return. And McManus, 3 receivers to the short side of the field as he takes that drop back. And again, Amerson is open, but McManus underthrew him. And you gotta think, Phil, if he puts that in his belly, he could be still running.
He could still be. You could hear the clap from Amerson down on the field, well up here in the stands. I mean, he is, again, wide open in that little seam area.
Coming right in your living room right now.
Just the ball a little bit underthrown, and if that ball is thrown in stride, Amerson, quick and elusive.
Kind of a scat back type.
He is. He's kind of a tweener. He's not big enough really for a classic running back, but he's kind of small for a receiver.
McManus throwing right, and he overthrows Flutie, who was open, and I'm sure Daniel say my bad on that one.
It's not only was Flutie open for the first down as well, as that ball sails out, and then you see Ron holding his stomach there, looking for the Gaviscon or the Tums or something, because I drive a coach crazy. Look, 4 yards into the clear there.
An emotional roller coaster for Coach Lancaster. Some very exciting wins at home. As we said, 6-0 in the confines of Ivor Wynne Stadium, 0-7 on the road, and 3 of those wins at Ivor Wynne Stadium via overtime. Osbaldiston gets away a nice punt, and it's out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So the kicker's putting on a clinic. Both kickers have been exceptional.
A beauty, because there's no yards on the return, so that's both punting gross yards and punting net yards. Just terrific there for Oz, and he's been doing that quite a bit all season.
Watch the technique.
That's a beauty. Up against the wind not a real big factor, probably blowing about 5-10 miles an hour.
Paul Osbaldiston in his 17th season out of Western Montana. Born in Oldham, England. Do we say when he was born?
Well, to show you how old he is, he was playing junior football in BC when I was playing junior football in Burlington.
That had to have been a long time ago.
Years ago.
We'll take a short break. Third quarter action resumes. Hamilton 25, Edmonton 17.
Forecast, plenty of sunshine for today with seasonal temperatures which reach our normal high of about 82 degrees by this afternoon.
Welcome back to Ivor Wynne Stadium. Clint Bubba O'Neill, Phil McLaughlin with you. Cats on Cogeco. Every time we do games, and we have never had a blowout on this network. Every game has been exciting, and our win-loss record has been exceptional. Only 1 loss in 5 years of doing these games on Cogeco. Unbelievable. See if the record stays intact. Ricky Ray will have change that. That's Jason Moss, and he's got a receiver. Walters absorbs the hit from Hitchcock. He cuts back to the interior of the field, and he's down at the 41-yard line. So insert the Oregon Duck quarterback, Jason Moss, and he makes an immediate impact.
Changing things up there for Coach Tom Higgins. Moss looking downfield. That's number 22 for the Cats who fell down. Unfortunately, Stephen Fisher. Absorbing the hit from Hamilton, I believe, is Walters. Able to get it. Doesn't go north-south, runs a little bit east-west, but still a huge gain.
Moss, a big quarterback, 6'2", 210, out of Oregon. In his third year, trying to make a difference. Here's Moss throwing, and it's overthrown. So Jason Moss coming in here, and Adida talked about it. He just wants to get a little playing time, but I don't think this was the situation he was expecting.
Ricky Ray with 120 yards passing in that first half, led him to 12 first downs, put 17 points on the board, 7 of those, of course, from the interception touchdown.
Do you see this as more of a change of pace thing?
I really do. I see it more, well, you know, let's change things up, not because you're doing badly, but just to kind of shake things up a bit.
2nd down and 10. Hamilton rushing 4. A duck thrown by Moss, but it's caught on the sidelines, right in front of the Hamilton coaching staff.
Wait a second, the referee is, one referee indicated incomplete, the other one said, it was a good catch, and now they're going to talk it over with Ken Lazarek. We'll have to wait and see on the replay there, whether or not they're thinking perhaps he bobbled the ball. Here is the replay.
This is what we call you be the judge, folks. 1 foot. No.
Out of bounds, and perhaps the one official was saying, but he was pushed out of bounds, but you could clearly see, I think, from that replay that Hervey would not have gotten his foot in.
Ed Hervey not happy with the call. So here comes Fleming, a long field goal attempt, 48 yards out of the hold of Moss. This will mean tons to Edmonton if they can get it. Fleming with a good toe into it. Goodness gracious, it's good. He nails it from 48. And the Eskimos are right back into it, creeping a little closer. They're down by 5, 25-20.
First points that Edmonton scored since the 9-minute mark of the first quarter, so at least they got something out of it. Of course, the key play in that drive was the big pass and run to Walters on that reception. Gets them back into a little bit of momentum. Now the Cats will start from the 35. I think it's important for the Cats here to reassert themselves, reestablish. Perhaps a nice long drive, give not only A, to give the defense a rest, but B, to give the offense a little bit of confidence there. Kind of change things around a bit, go 50-50 run pass, maybe run it to Amerson a little bit as well.
So McManus and the offense for the Hamilton Tiger Cats field from the 35-yard line. They utilize an inside handoff from Amerson, and he is pancaked. A.J. Gast along with Powell in there. And you talked about that, Phil, just minutes ago. Amerson, definitely you like to see him at the running back position. Only 3 years ago he was a starting running back, but he's kind of in between.
He was a starting running back, and something that the Cats have put in, of course, because of the loss of Troy Davis, coming with kind of a slot back end around kind of thing, or a slot back inside movement with their offense. Of course, now Amerson well out there as they go strong right.
2nd down and 10. Miles was overthrown, though Malcolm Frank had a little tug on Miles, and Miles looked towards the officials looking for a flag.
You noticed that as well. Malcolm Frank perhaps getting away with one there. We won't see it from this angle, I don't believe, but I think if that tug wasn't there, Akins was, or Miles, excuse me, was gone for 6, because the throw was there, it was good, and just that little nudge or tug threw him off.
Miles has the ability to go about a half a gear quicker than anyone else, doesn't he?
Exciting player.
Osbaldiston will punt. Low driving kick that Winston October takes at the 28. Winston October knocked down hard by Troy Saunders, who lost his helmet.
Saunders once again having a huge game on special teams, one of the Ticats players of the game thus far, because we see him all the time down here first man to stop Winston October. And I think if you bottle up October, there you see him just on the right-hand side of your screen, he gets blocked there, but will come across, lose his lid, as you said, and make the head knocked off there by Rob Hitchcock, who says, no, that's not my helmet.
Jason Moss now with the controls for the Edmonton Eskimos. This could be a very big game for him if he can turn around the fortunes of this struggling offense for the Eskimos. John Avery. Avery across the 50. John Avery into Hamilton territory and knocked out of bounds by Rob Hitchcock at the 49.
Huge gain there by Avery, and I think the key to that play was Avery's quickness, able to hit the hole very, very quickly. North-south type of runner. As we'll see him, he'll slash off tackle. He'll go between the center and guard tackle as they move, and you can see he's just gone through there before the defensive line and linebackers can react. Now he's into the secondary. Despite the straight arm, good tackle there by Hitchcock.
Questions about Avery coming into the season. He was the third running back, but so far he leads the league in rushing and 6.4 a clip. Quick throw by Moss, and Sean Woodson dumps Tucker, who has been quiet since the first quarter.
But another 14-yard gain. Woodson with the tackle. I was watching the defensive ends for the Hamilton Tiger Cats on that series. Cedric Clark back in there, number 57. You'll see him come from the right-hand side of your screen, just not quick enough as he gets to Moss a bit too late. Moss able to deliver the ball.
Moss just put a little fling on that one. First down and 10 from the 35 of the Cats. Moss and the Eskimos running the football. Big run by Avery. And he's tackled up by Rob Hitchcock just outside the 20-yard line. So things in a very positive groove for the Edmonton Eskimo offense. Again, they are refinding that run-pass balance.
You're right there, Bubs. We got the timing on both sides. You can see Avery with a huge hole, just an outstandingly huge hole, able to go right at the middle. He doesn't even get any opposition until he's 15 yards down the field.
Hamilton hanging on to a 5-point lead here in the third quarter. 5-10 left in it. First down and 10. Avery off the left-hand side, waiting for something to happen, and it does. Here comes Avery turning the corner. Wow, is he talented.
I'm shaking my head because Avery made something out of nothing there. My goodness, it looked as though he had Tiger Cats all around him. He stops, he makes another move. We'll see here on the replay. This is simply sweep outside to the left. Cheatwood's got him there, he thinks. No, he stops, he escapes around him. Somebody thinks he has him. Woodson by the ankles. Nope. Fortunately, Hitchcock, once again, he must be getting pretty tired, able to chase him down.
What a great job of playing until the whistle by the Edmonton offensive line. First down from the 12. Moss throws into the end zone. Tucker's got it. Touchdown. He beat Stephen Fisher, the defensive back.
One of those all or nothing plays there, Bubs. A naked bootleg there by Moss as he comes around the corner. Woodson wasn't biting, so Woodson had the direct line into Moss. Now Moss knows this and is hoping his receiver gets open downfield. You will see him coming out of our camera range, rolling out to the right. Woodson with a huge hit right in the ribs. Just at the end there, the receiver able to escape the defense. Edmonton's back on top.
Jason Tucker, his second touchdown reception of the afternoon. And we talked about him being rather quiet. Well, he made noise on that drive as Fleming kicks the extra point into the meshing. And the Edmonton Eskimos have retaken the lead. Let's have a look at this one more time. You described it well, Phil.
Once again, the naked bootleg, the fake to one side. Now he's going to roll to his right-hand side. Now Woodson isn't biting, and he's going to charge up hard. We just see the end of the hit there. And we also see, I believe that's Fisher on the ground as the receiver is wide open in the corner of the end zone. 6 plays, 56 yards, 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the drive. The TD covering 12 yards.
Let me ask you something, though, Phil. How important is the running of John Avery? Because I've got to believe the team was thinking run there defensively.
It sets everything up. You could see that all the movement was off to the right-hand side, and that allowed Moss the time to be able to bootleg left. Let's go downstairs to Adita.
Well, you're talking about Jason Avery, and definitely has made a huge impression. John Avery has definitely made a huge impression on Coach Tom Higgins. Higgins has been quoted as saying that he would pay the price of admission just to watch Avery zip up and down the field. Avery is definitely one of the more outstanding players in the CFL currently. In fact, the buzz around the CFL is that he will be up for that most outstanding player award by the end of the season. Taking a look, he was also known as the best offensive player of the week in the CFL this past week, rushing 157 yards. Avery definitely a favorite of Coach Higgins.
You'll become a coach favorite pretty quickly when you put on a display like he did last week. 151 yards against Saskatchewan. And again, like we talked about, when you're successful on first down, when your running game is in tow, it makes everyone look good. It makes the wide receivers look good. The quarterback all of a sudden has more time. And we saw it all compounded into that drive there by Jason Moss, who has come in relief of Ricky Ray, who maybe he's just not having his best day.
There you see Avery, 54 yards in the first half, probably almost as much in the second half, closing in on 100.
So the Eskimos now with the lead, kicking off the football, and here's Stephen Fisher from his own 10. Stephen Fisher bottled up at the 25-yard line. Sean Woodson getting up, or Dwayne Ford getting up slowly.
Fisher going a little bit west-east there, I think, rather than north-south.
Canadian Cal Walters in there. Let's have a look at the run by Fisher. And you talked about it. Just go forward.
That's right. When you start going east-west, your defenders, who are the guys who are blocking for you, they can't see where you're going. They're expecting you're going to come up right in behind them.
Darren Flutie slot back inside right. Amerson slot back inside left. In motion goes Aikens. Here's the dump off to Amerson. Amerson's got 10. He's got 11. Make it 12 and a first down.
Well set up by the Tiger Cats. You put Aikens and you put Miles, your two fastest receivers, out wide to the left. Send them deep. Take all the defenders deep, and then you swing Amerson out of the backfield. A little bit of a slant pattern there. Wide open.
Again, Amerson has been sort of the safety valve on this afternoon so far, and he's inside, short side of the field. 3 of them on that short side of the field. Quick snap, McManus throws, he's got Miles. Miles to the 50-yard line, and he's brought down quickly.
Once again, Malcolm Frank on the coverage. Miles talking to the official there, but things that weren't happening for the Tiger Cats in the first half, now they're starting to click. That all elusive timing. Well, the timing
offside,
is there.
Edmonton 56, decline, first down.
13 more yards via the air. Move the sticks. They're at the 50-yard line.
Don't think the Tiger Cats essentially need a touchdown here, but a good long drive would be essential. A, to give their defense again a rest, and B, to rebuild the confidence of the offense. They're only down by 2.
Miles Aitken and Amerson off to that short side of the field. Here comes the blitz on McManus. The ball is tipped and caught by Grigg. A nice reception to concentrate on the football after the tip.
They Tiger Cats sent all of the movement and all the players off to the left-hand side. There's McManus coming backside. There you see the tip. Grigg there with the reception. Loses his footing. Otherwise, he thought he would have been able to get a few more yards. It's getting close to a first down.
2nd down and 1. And Jared Smith in there as a running back. And again, he just goes forward and pounds himself in there. He needed pretty much a full yard, and I don't know if he got it. Yes, the officials say he did.
Time ticking down here, less than 2 minutes now. The wind now not really a factor. The sun has come out. Everything is dry after the torrential rains we had on the weekend. But aside from the sunlight out there, everything's good.
McManus on first down using the short ball. It is Miles Tony Miles all wrapped up. Nearly head tackled, and I was about to say I've heard very little from Senior Mobley, who is one of their most active linebackers, and he comes up with the tackle. But we're seeing a lot of A.J. Gass and Kelvin Powell. They've just been staying away from Mobley.
Gass, the Defensive Player of the Week last week, as we mentioned before, against Saskatchewan Roughriders. Edmonton winning 31-25.
Nice looking drive so far by the Cats, but they need to continue. 2nd down and 5, again under a blitz situation. Thrown too far for Aikens. Not quite sure about the communication there between Aikens and McManus, and the Cats will be forced to punt.
Sometimes what happens is a receiver goes onto his route and he's held up or just delayed slightly by what the defender does, and that kind of throws the timing off a little bit. Now we won't see it here, but Garrett has, you can see kind of the hand on the back of Aikens, and that was pretty much all the way down the field. The referee's not calling that, but what it does is just slows him up just a little bit, not quite enough that he's going to complain about it, but just a little bit, throws off the timing, pass incomplete.
Head coach Tom Higgins issuing instructions. And Osbaldiston looking to do a little angle action. Not quite as deep as he would have liked, but they'll spot it at the 12, 13-yard line. It's not so bad.
Again, not a great gross amount on that punt, only probably at 25 yards, but no return. And you don't want Edmonton to break the game open and get a whole bunch of momentum, excitement from their side with a huge special teams play from Winston October.
Edmonton 27, Hamilton 25. It's been a game of emotion, as it usually is here at Ivor Wynne. It's been a game with a lot of momentum shifts. Where are we right now as we approach near the end of the 3rd quarter? We will soon find out. Jason Moss in a shotgun from the 12. Moss moving around. He's going to run. Moss out of bounds, and you have to believe he is pretty close to being 100%, but that shoulder has been he's had some problems.
It's going to make Coach Tom Higgins cringe every time he sees Moss not do the pop-up slide either. He's going head first, try and get as many yards as he can downfield once he decides to run. Woodson coming off his man quickly, diving for as many yards.
2nd down and 5. This will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Moss in a pro set, empty backfield. He'll be facing a 5-man rush. Moss under pressure, dumps it off to Ed Hervey. Ed Hervey, flags on the play. Uh-oh, don't like that from where the flags are.
Roughing the passer called against Lamont Bryant, number 53. I believe that's his 2nd time caught in this football game.
Never like to see this play, this flag. There is some discussion, though. Moss being explained as options. Fine job by Moss to feel the pressure and find the open receiver, though. I'll give him that.
I think they're going to say.
Major foul, roughing the passer, 53, 1st down. Yeah.
Again, it's all about discipline. You know what? They picked up a couple of yards. Let's have a look at it. Look for 53, folks. We lose it there. But Walters comes up with what was going to be a 1st down. Let's see if this camera has it.
I think the key is Bryant gets in there. That's fine, but unfortunately, instead of letting the quarterback go after he delivered the ball, he continues and throws him to the ground, and that's what he got called for.
Pancaked him. This is the final play of the quarter. Avery up to the 50-yard line, and we will call it quits for 3 quarters of football. Back and forth we go. Edmonton 27, Hamilton 25. We're down to their final 15, Phil, and you have no clue what's going to happen there. Both teams seem to be operating on all cylinders right now.
It's been back and forth. Of course, Edmonton with the quick start, and Hamilton able to come back for the lead in the 2nd half. Now Edmonton with the lead.
We're down to our final 15, maybe. Join us. Welcome back to Ivor Wynne Stadium. CFL action here on a Sunday afternoon. The Edmonton Eskimos visiting. Tom Higgins, the head coach of the Eskimos, just trying to settle down the troops, and he's done a good job. And I think he made a very tough decision, I'm sure, in pulling Ricky Ray when things weren't really going that bad, but maybe not that well either.
No, they hadn't scored any points offensively in the better part of a half, let's say, and I'd say that the as you can see, the wind not really a factor, perhaps blowing a little bit harder now than it has been, but it's kind of been circulating around the stadium back and forth.
First quarter, those flags were dead.
That's right.
Picking up a little bit as we approach the latter half of afternoon.
We were talking about Jason Moss coming in there again. A change for, I just think, to change things up rather than Ray having a bad time. Ray was 2 rushes for 5 yards in the first half, 7 of 15 passing, 1 TD, 2 interceptions.
Big number 12, the Oregon quarterback, running the show. Avery tripped up. Schelling got him at the fingertips, short of a first down, and the Cats will get the football back.
A big defensive play there by a veteran defensive player, number 30, Chris Schelling, able to knife in there from his linebacker spot on the outside. Play going towards Schelling, just able to get a fingertip on his shoe.
Goes to show you how strong some of these guys are, because he just was able to get an arm on him, and that was enough to topple the very agile John Avery. Sean Fleming in to punt. He stands back at his own 35-yard line. Gets a beautiful toe into this one. High hanging kick to Miles. He'll take it at the 18-yard line. Miles up to the 25, juking and jiving, and he is wrapped up. Downfield quickly are the Eskimos. Sheldon Benoit in on the tackle.
Third quarter stats, Edmonton with 17 first downs, Hamilton with 13. Rushing yards, Edmonton with 126. Avery, as we thought, over the 100-yard mark. I think he's got 103. Hamilton only 39 yards rushing. Continues to be a sore spot for them. Passing yards, Edmonton 174, Hamilton 244. McManus 15 of 28 passing. So net yards on offense, only 20 yards difference with Edmonton up in front. First downs, as I mentioned before, return yards, penalties, Hamilton 7 for 70, Edmonton 5 for 55.
Danny McManus in a shotgun on first down and 10. He has Jared Smith in beside him. He will be passing. McManus just throws it while he was under pressure, and he has a completion. So McManus can't run anymore, maybe. But he still has the quick feet.
I think that's safe to say. Perhaps a pretty good guy to have in a phone booth if you need some running done or something like that. Yeah, he just eludes 1, 2 guys there and creates something out of nothing. Gives it to Amerson, one of his safety valves there down the middle. Quick 6 yards.
So it'll be second down and 4. We have Miles, Akins, Amerson out to the left-hand side of the formation. Short drop back by McManus, and now he's going to run. Then he dumps it off to Grigg, but it's too high. So all of a sudden, McManus showing us a new package we've never seen ever.
Well, I don't think it will be considered a Christmas package on that one, because McManus, he doesn't have the foot speed to be able to do this on a consistent basis. He's going to roll out to his right and try and create. Both the receivers were held up at the line of scrimmage. Little bump and run action. Eludes the first man there, but he's in trouble and tries for Grigg.
Interesting, able to pull up some file footage on McManus and looking at him at Florida State. I don't think he's ever had foot speed.
Don't think so. He's always been a pocket quarterback, one of the classic pocket quarterbacks.
Osbaldiston in to punt. Low punt, and it will be returnable. Jason Tucker. Tucker looking for some running room, and he dropped the football. Cats say they have it. The officials say the play was dead.
Perhaps a quick whistle on that one. I'd like to see this one again because it looked as though the hit came and perhaps the ball bounced loose before the player hit the ground. We'll have to wait and see.
Let's have a look at this one more time as Tucker running through. He was hit. The ball pops out immediately. And I'd like to believe that the Eskimos might have had that one.
Perhaps we can tell from this angle because it appeared as though he was down and the ball kind of popped out. And again, we can't quite see. It looked as though he was down hard. Still in possession of the football.
I'd have to say it looked like his knees were down at the point.
Good angle from our Cogeco crew from the field level.
So the Cats find themselves in quite a quandary right now. As we speak, the Toronto Argonauts are playing the East Division leading Montreal Alouettes at Molson Stadium. What a great atmosphere should be going on in downtown Montreal. And if they can win this game and the Cats cannot pull off a victory today, we've got a tie situation in the East.
It's almost like a wild card being inserted when you put in Pinball Clements. You got enthusiasm, you got football experience, you've got a winner, and he's going to.
Maybe they have a quarterback too.
Maybe they do have a quarterback as well this week. But what Pinball adds to the Toronto whole scheme of things is he adds positive emotions and positive actions, and it showed up immediately there with the 28-21 win over the Cats. And this week you go against Montreal, a team that just kind of been back and forth. There's rumors and there's some footage of them scrapping again this week. Of course, last year I believe Montreal was like 9-1 and then finished off the season 0-8.
Today's attendance, 16,054 Cat fans, and they are making some noise now, trying to disturb and bother Jason Moss as he's throwing the ball deep. Ed Hervey, flags on the play. Was there a little bit of Academy Award action going on there from our man Ed Hervey?
Interesting to see, as we just had the Emmys last weekend. Could be an Emmy on this one. Ken Lazarek is going to call pass interference against number 31, Brandon Hamilton.
Forward pass interference. Hamilton, number 31, first down.
And we'll see why here on the replay. Cats coming with the blitz, Fields and Schelling both coming hard. Hervey heading down the field, the sidelines, and we'll be able to see here at the end, kind of sitting on his backside, perhaps not even a catchable ball there. But certainly Hamilton having contact, not looking much at the ball, running into the receiver, getting him in the face.
So they'll spot the ball at the 25-yard line of the Cats. So the Eskimos looking to throw, and he just quickly delivers. That's Jason Moss looking for Avery. So the Cats can sort of ill afford to give up a touchdown here.
Kind of an interesting play call, the wrong play call against that defense, as we'll see. Hayden Fields coming straight up the middle with the blitz had to be picked up by Avery, and then of course Fields is going to cover Avery as he was supposed to slide out to the outside to catch the ball, and of course Fields is going to be right there on him and nowhere to go.
Second down and 10 for Jason Moss, and probably his most important down so far in this game. He will be passing, a little slide move. He throws to the end zone. He's looking to Tucker. Touchdown, Jason Tucker. His third touchdown reception of the game.
My goodness, Bubs, all through this football game we've seen Edmonton receivers being chased by the Hamilton defenders. The Hamilton defenders with their back to the quarterback for some reason, just not giving the Edmonton receivers any respect, I don't think, because they've been chasing them from behind all game. And again, here we see a simple little corner pattern. Moss waiting for the pattern to develop. Well thrown ball right there just inside the goal line. Extra point by Fleming, up and good. From 27-25, it becomes 34-25, and now it's a 9-point game as the Cats had all the momentum for a while. There's an excellent camera angle. Good work by our Cogeco crew. As you can see, the defender, number 25, Butler, just kind of standing still. He was waiting perhaps for a cut from the receiver from one angle, and he didn't get it from there. And so Tucker able to break to the outside, caught Butler flat-footed, and that's why he was chasing from behind.
Tucker now has 6 touchdowns on the year. He has doubled his output of the entire season.
6 plays, 45 yards, 2:07 off the clock on the 25-yard TD. Third of the game for Tucker.
There you see an ISO shot of him, and no one happier in the building than that man. Bring it on, he's saying.
Kind of a surprise for Edmonton this year. 7th coming into this game in receiving, 41 for 772 yards. An excellent 18.8-yard average. Only 3 TDs. He's matched his TD production for the entire year in this game.
Well, the Cats will get an opportunity to respond. A lot of time left in this football game, 11:38 remaining. And we've seen so many lead changes that we might be in for more. Coach Ron Lancaster, hands on his hips. Certainly looks in a better mood than he was in the first quarter, but knows he's in for a football game still yet to come.
Puzzled once again by his football team. Can't understand why in some instances they can have excellent success on offense and then just go stone cold in the same game.
Well, this is a drive where they'll have to get things going. Fleming will do the kickoff honors, and here we go again. Low driving kick that Stephen Fisher, Jared Smith will take from the 12-yard line. Jared Smith absorbing 1 hit, crosses the 35-yard line. Did he drop the football?
They're saying he did. Again, the whistle indicating that play was dead before Smith hit the lost the football. 36-yard line is pretty good field position. Let's see when exactly this football comes out from Smith. Head straight up the field, hit by number 99, and goes down. And yeah, ball was he was definitely down. The elbow caused him to fumble. A la Leon McQuay. At the 30th anniversary of 31st anniversary of his play, of course. Toronto, Calgary, BC Place. Or I guess P&E Stadium back then.
Yeah. McManus looking left, he throws left. He has a wide open Tony Miles, who's juking and jiving once again. Did he lose the football? Yes, he did.
Oh,
the official said, what? The official says that the ball was taken out of the hands of Tony Miles by Quincy Coleman, and that it's a turnover.
This is
the Edmonton sideline were going ballistic, feeling that he should have gone in for the touchdown, and Ken Lazarus looks dazed and confused to me.
It's one of the strangest plays I've ever seen. On the one hand, how can you allow the ball to be turned over to the Edmonton Eskimos and yet not allow the touchdown? Because he just ripped the ball out and kept on running. Here we see the play. I didn't feel at first it was a turnover. Miles has the ball straight up. Just kind of gets the ball ripped out, and I guess what they're saying is that the defender was on his knees at the time and was touching Miles, so that's why he was down.
Real opportunity for Edmonton to really make a statement is John Avery again. He's moving all over the place. Double infractions on the play. Gotta believe there was some holding going on there. But all this is doing is giving an opportunity for Edmonton to find some separation point-wise and also take some time off the clock.
And another instance where the Cats are 1 and out, 2 and out. We've seen that lots of times in this
Edmonton,
game.
number 81. First down repeated.
That really wears on your defense. I'd be interested to see time of possession from this football game. Really wears your defense down and doesn't allow them to catch their breath, get any rest.
John Avery, a little wink of approval there. So, again, a down and distance situation that the Eskimos do not want to be in. First down and 20, and Jason Moss is calling signals. Facing a 4-man in front, he sets up the screen. Avery drops the football. Chris Schilling would have belted him had he hung on to that football.
Hearing
you know what?
Footsteps there for Avery.
I'm so curious. I'm demanding a replay of that, what I'm going to call a phantom fumble by Tony Miles. Let's have a look. We got a good look at it here.
Yeah, ground level action, so we can see Miles still has the football and he's making some moves. I guess he could consider it a fumble because he was not down on his knees. His forward momentum was stopped, but then the ball is just ripped out of his hands.
No one more than Tony Miles would like to see the defense make a statement here, or at least see the Eskimos not get 20 yards. It's second down and 20. Jason Moss under trouble, and it's quarterback down. It is quarterback down, courtesy of Lamont Bryant.
A coverage sack there for the Hamilton Tiger Cats as the defense comes up a little big and sends the Eskimos back the other way. What happens here is the Tiger Cats only send 3 men, McField, Sheetwood, and Bryant on the outside. McField just told to keep it in the middle, not let him go up the middle. And the 2 outside guys just kind of slowly contain the pocket. Bryant comes around from behind, makes the sack.
There he is, the big guy.
Making amends somewhat for his 2 roughing the passers in this game.
Big guy out of Georgetown, South Carolina. Attended Notre Dame. Bouncing kick taken by Fisher. Fisher at the 25, at the 30, 35, 40. Tackle at the 42-yard line. So a nice looking run by Stephen Fisher, and they kind of get the ball back where Tony Miles lost it.
A.J. Gass with a great saving tackle there for the Eskimos. Otherwise, Fisher could have gone a long way. He'd gone past the initial wave of runners, and there's Gass just getting him by the ankle to bring him down. But again, an excellent return and good field position once again for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They've got what wind there is in the football game. They've got it behind them here in the 4th quarter. They were able to complete the first pass in their last drive, but of course, the fumble called against Miles, and they were 1 and out.
The special teams, and I'm talking about the return aspect of it for the Cats, has been much maligned as being boring and not effective, but certainly Stephen Fisher's best day as a Cat.
Yeah, give him kudos, not only Fisher, but Miles as well for his couple of kick returns that he's had. You're right, they just have not produced an outstanding play, the breaking play. You know, that's so many other teams. Montreal's got it from Stokes. Even Ottawa had it. Forget the player's name on Ottawa, but one of their new guys. October here, of course, replacing Gizmo Williams, who was a game breaker again. And it's the kind of thing where you need all aspects of the game. Offense, defense, special teams are 1/3 of your game. And if you're able to make a big play, get a touchdown making play, boy, that gives everybody, because the offense is having a rest, the defense is having a rest, and it's just those second guys, and it pumps them up too, enables them to play better.
The Cats cheerleaders getting down. Exciting the crowd as always. Always well choreographed, always doing their thing. Keeping everyone involved. And again, if you get a chance, they have their new 2003 calendar out there. Make sure and catch it. It's a hot one. 9:20 remaining in the 4th quarter. 34-25. Edmonton in the lead, and McManus passing on first down, and it is caught by Darren Flutie. Flutie very close to a first down, and he's also getting very close to being the all-time receiving leader in the CFL.
I believe that might be Flutie's 4th catch in the football game. So we might make some 5 away, coming in needing 9. In this instance for the Cats, they're not too concerned about the record. What they're more concerned with is getting first downs and advancing the ball.
Shannon Garrett trying to rip the ball out of Flutie's hands. And there you see Darren Flutie. So many wonderful years in this league. The 5'9", 188 product out of Boston College. And his 12th season and final season. Have drilled him a couple of times with questions, and he says this is it. First down and 10. McManus looking over the middle. He's got Andrew Gregg. The Sault Ste. Marie product crossing over the middle with another first down.
And a little bit of trash talking going on there at the end. Gregg has to run the same pattern over and over again most of this football game. What he does is does a 15-yard down, and then he just comes straight across the field. Hopefully being able to get, if it's a zone coverage, what you get is an opening in the coverage.
Darren Flutie, 5 catches away from history in the CFL. Cats on first down and 10 from the 41. Good protection. Nice catch by Amerson over the middle. Boy, and McManus is finding his groove again. It's so evident when he's feeling hot.
Funny about Amerson, he's such a small guy and he's able to get down the field. Sometimes it looks as though the ball is going to rip his arms off. Here he makes the extended catch, stretches out there, gets downfield. Amerson coming into the game 4th in pass receiving in the CFL, having his best year as a CFL player, as once again started off as a running back, now is almost strictly a receiver.
First down and 10 from the 22. Jared Smith joining McManus, but he will be passing. McManus just throws it to Smith, and he makes a marvelous reception near the sidelines. Jared Smith, another Canadian product out of Hamilton, a Waterloo graduate, making a highlight reel reception.
McManus, the alchemist here, making and creating out of nothing. Almost sacked on the play, kind of eludes that one man. Now Smith was in the backfield just to block, and of course just released out of the backfield there and having to find himself downfield for a gain of 8.
They might mark it as 9. Smith, the lone man in the backfield, he'll see the football, flags on the play. Smith just driving, trying to pick up the first down. I don't know if he got it, but let's see what these flags are all about. Early indication is that it's against Edmonton.
Makes the run inconsequential there. They'll tack 5 yards on as Edmonton
offside. Edmonton number 97. First down.
Kelvin Kinney, the offending player. Offside. Now the Cats deeper into the red zone. First down, goal to go at about the 8.5.
You never like to spin up a hex or bad luck, but they have to think a touchdown while inside the 10-yard line. 3 is attainable, but nearly almost not acceptable. McManus, crossing pattern inside. Gregg, is he in? No. At the half-yard line. The little look-in pattern was successful. Timing was crucial there.
And they'll mark it back at the 1 as Gregg falls the wrong way. He couldn't be faulted for that, and he had the ball in the wrong hand. So, in fact, he was short of the goal line. If he would have had the ball in the other hand and fell in the other way, I think they would have called it a touchdown. But they bring in the beef for second down and goal to go.
Verbeek, Musica, Ford, Bowles, Jared Smith in the backfield. They'll go trips in the backfield. 9 men on the line of scrimmage. Jared Smith over the top. Touchdown. Hold on, though. Flags are on the play. Flags are on the play.
We'll wait and see what the flag is. Cats thinks it's against the Eskies.
Here's Kenny Lazarick.
Offside. Edmonton 97. Decline.
Touchdown, Hamilton Tiger Cats. Jared Smith,
very
a
fitting
1-yard plunge.
That Smith should get the touchdown here. He made a crucial catch there in the drive. Just able to get over the goal line. I would have loved to have seen a camera angle right along the goal line there just to see if he got across.
Osbaldiston looking to make it 32, and he does. 34, Edmonton. 32, Hamilton. 5:31 remaining in the fourth quarter. And here's your look, Phil.
Once again, Edmonton getting low, but yeah, it looked as though he was across, certainly with the helmet and the shoulders. Ball off to one side, and the official, no doubt about it, made the call there immediately.
Is there any reason not to see a Cats game? Not to come down to Ivor Wynne and join the 16,000 plus? Every game at Ivor Wynne Stadium this season, and we've documented it to death. They are 6-0 at home, but every game has been exciting. 3 going into overtime. They're getting it done at home.
7 plays, 49 yards, 3:48 off the clock on that drive. And not only that, I mean, for years, almost forever, really, it's been the best place to watch a football game. I mean, the players, they're not over enthused about it because pretty much the fans can reach out and touch the players, especially when they're out of bounds there. I mean, you're just so close to the action. You can hear all the sounds, the grunts. You can hear the bones breaking sometimes in some of the players.
Well, Terry Vaughn in an earlier report, a very short kickoff by Osbaldiston, taken by October at the 20. October searching for room up the middle, and he is gang tackled across the 35-yard line. But in a report earlier this week, Terry Vaughn voicing his disapproval with ever playing at Ivor Wynne because the fans are right over top of you, and then they can cause problems for you in terms of communication, and that it turns into turnovers. So he doesn't like coming here, and that may explain why he only has the leading pass receiver in the league only has 1 catch.
Perhaps that is the point. Not an enclosed stadium, of course, so the fans, while they can make a lot of noise, it doesn't echo back into the players, but certainly close enough.
There's Terry Vaughn lining up as a slot back on the left-hand side. Here's a running play. Avery breaks it. John Avery across the 50-yard line. He made a little cut back to the outside. Perhaps if he continued going straight ahead, there might have been daylight.
But that's Avery's style. Sometimes he doesn't even know where he's going until he's gone already, because he starts off with the sweep towards the left-hand side, sees where the hole is, go to the hole. There's nobody there. Poor Rob Hitchcock. He's gonna need a transfusion or something. He spent the entire game chasing down Avery.
They're at the 50-yard line of the Eskimos, and all 16,000 are making noise. Moss off the rollout. He's got room. Lots of room to run. He's into Hamilton territory. The Edmonton quarterback puts his head down at the 42.
And I don't think Ron Lancaster is going to be too happy with Tim Cheatwood in this football game. Time and again, Cheatwood has cheated in, as you were, to play the run.
Well, Moss is fast, but not that fast.
Yeah, that's really fast. I mean, Ricky Ray's pretty fast too. But what happens is Cheatwood comes in from his right-hand defensive end spot, gets caught inside there. He's seen 49. He's got nowhere to go, and there's nobody around him.
First down and 10 from the Hamilton 42. The Eskimos looking to answer back after the Hamilton touchdown, and they're doing so effectively. Inside the 30-yard line, it goes John Avery, who's having his second fantastic game of rushing the football.
And a few of the Tiger Cats now very slow in getting up off the turf. Avery leaving McField, Bryant, and Schelling in his wake. Also breaking a tackle there from Woodson as he gets up over the Cat 30 to the 28. More importantly, Bubs, time coming off the clock.
Speaking of time, we're approaching the 3-minute warning. From the Cats 28, Moss rolling out one more time. He throws a dart intended for Terry Vaughn, and he was a little tall with that pass.
Interesting there, the Cats defense shifting around a little bit. There you see Cheatwood kind of playing a look-see inside, allowing Avery to go with the fake, not allowing Moss to get too far outside. Moss having to deliver the ball in that instance.
Well, give credit to Moss. He's maybe reinvented himself somewhat. We've seen him be very effective off the roll-off. He's been a noted drop-back passer, but he's causing some problems on those rollouts. We've reached a 3-minute warning. Hamilton down by 2. Join us. It's going to be an exciting one. Join us. Welcome back. Ivor Wynne Stadium abuzz. Another exciting finish in store. The Edmonton Eskimos up 34-32. Phil, again, a time in this game here on 2nd down and 10 where this Cats defense is going to have to find a way to stop the Edmonton Eskimos offense.
The Eskimos, I think they would be happy to get the field goal here. A single point really doesn't do them any good, and I think they probably would go for it on 3rd down if it was within 2 or 3 yards, because that'll only make it 35. The Cats can still tie them. We know the Cats have been deadly this year at home in overtime.
2nd down, 10 from the Hamilton 28. Low snap. Moss with a lot of composure and a lot of time. It's running out, though. He throws it. It's intercepted. It's intercepted. Chris Schelling, 32-yard line. Big play by the Hamilton defense.
And my goodness, is that ever recovered? Moss had 7, 8, 9 seconds in the pocket there, unable to find anybody. And I know what he was trying to do. He had a receiver open down at about the 10-yard line and looking around, and Schelling just stepped in front. Here's Moss. I mean, count the seconds. 4, 5, 6. Sheetwood hits the ground. Finally, McDonald gets a little bit of pressure on him. They're trying for, I believe that was Hervey, 81. Schelling just steps in front. Schelling's going to be mad at himself. He finds the one guy who's down on the field, one of those old linemen, and runs right at him, unfortunately.
The absolute worst case scenario for the Edmonton Eskimos is there. So, with a 2-point lead, the Eskimos put 5 men on the line of scrimmage chasing Danny McManus. Oh, a big-time collision. Tony Miles was rocked. Tony Miles was rocked by Malcolm Frank. And now Amerson getting up slow, pardon me.
Interesting to see this one. It was close to a completion and a fumble as McManus gets rid of the ball. Short little pass. Ball thrown up in the air. In fact, the ball bounced off Amerson before it hit the turf.
Miles came out of that okay, but Amerson ran into Miles, and he ended up more hurt than Miles. Amerson still hobbling. 2nd down, McManus throws. He's too far wide for Tony Aikens. The Cats will be forced to punt, and Danny McManus is slamming and jamming his hands.
McManus unable to get the offense going enough to create some kind of a drive. Throwing it outside. I mean, Aikens is a fast receiver, and he's still unable to get a hold of that one. Again, just the timing off just that little bit, just off his fingertips.
So with 2:31 remaining, it'll be into the hands of Ozzie to come up with his best effort of the afternoon. He'll have to kick to either October or Avery. Low driving and returnable. It's Tucker back there. Tucker near midfield. And it looks like there was some bad stuff going on at midfield.
Could have been a break here for the Tiger Cats. I believe that they might call holding on the return up around the midfield stripe around the 53. So this one will be back at least a little deeper into Eskimos territory.
Holding, Edmonton number 4, 1st down.
On the 35-yard line, you don't know whether that's good or bad. On the one hand, you know they're going to give this one to Avery probably 2 times in a row until he can't get a first down. With 2:21 to go, they want to run with Edmonton up by 2.
Well, the hanky-panky could cost the Eskimos. And again, the crowd getting involved. Jason Moss looking to work off 2:21 on the clock. They need to put together some first downs, but they are blitzing the Cats. High risk, high reward, and it could be high reward for Avery.
When you blitz like that, what happens is you open up lanes defensively, and if you get a quick running back like Avery who hits the holes so quickly, those lanes don't have to be open long for Avery to find him. And of course, once he's into the secondary.
Boy, this guy is having a heck of a game.
Perhaps a little bit of holding there on Hayden Fields, 52, to help open up the hole.
CFL rookie is tearing up defenses. Cats again blitzing. Off the fake, Moss throws. Avery dropped it. Unusual call, I think, on first down.
Perhaps to throw the defense off a little bit. Great if it works, because you've got all the momentum going the one way, and then you come back to Avery the other side. It's the second one he's dropped as far as short little passes like that. Good running back, just not so good on the passing, I don't think. Although he did come into the game with 32 receptions for 261 yards.
Gone is the clipboard, gone is the headset, gone is everything for Coach Lancaster. No cheat notes, give me some gum. I'm gonna chew on this, baby. 2:10. A little throw over the middle to Avery. He doesn't get the first down. He's tackled by Hitchcock at midfield. And Fleming will have to punt.
Moss looking a little bit deeper downfield, I believe, initially, but what happens is you go to your guy that's produced for you all game. Avery switching hands with the ball with the straight arm. Again, Hitchcock having to come up from his safety spot. Now let's, perfect example here. Let's see if Tony Miles can make something happen on special teams.
The Cats haven't been that close to getting to Fleming.
Cats calling a timeout, I believe, because they only have 11 men on the field. So let me do a quick count here. No, they have 12 men, 12. But Scott Coe coming to the sidelines for some reason.
Having a discussion with Coach Lancaster, special teams coach.
Perhaps, Bubs, with 1:37 to go, do you send 11 full tilt boogie, hope for the block, or do you set up the nice return? Miles has had a couple of good returns in this football game, hope for field position. With a little bit of wind that Oz has, I'm sure he could be good from 45 or 50. You don't have to go very far to win this football game.
And that's why I think you set up the return.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, the Cats have Miles as the lone man back there, and Sean Woodson making some noise in behind those 10 men, and they're going to set up the return. High, short punt, Miles, cut down. Miles still going, though. 27-yard line. So, let's try and work this out with 1:26 left in this fourth quarter. They need to get to about the 30, 40-yard line in between them.
You need about 4 first downs, give or take, because of the additional yardage on each first down that you're going to get. So you need to get it around the 40-yard line of the Edmonton Eskimos. Oz has been just deadly this year, of course, leading the team in points, leading the league in points. And with this kind of sloping wind, he's been so accurate this year. I think they will just try and play it conservative. 1:26, tons of time in the CFL, of course.
Tony Miles off the field, in comes Dwayne Ford. The Cats have been very successful completing passes in the interior of the field. They'll do that right now to Jared Smith to the 40-yard line. First down.
Keep it very conservative. Little dump passes there to Smith. That's just fine. You've got plenty of time. That only ate up 5 seconds off the clock. Nice block there by Flutie. Did you see that on AJ Gass, 77?
Clock down to 1:15 remaining. 7-man rush. McManus throws deep, and he overthrows Darren Flutie.
Now you see that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to go for the deep stuff. If you've got the short stuff there and available, perhaps Edmonton a little bit of a umbrella or a prevent defense, which I only think prevents you from winning that prevent defense. But there McManus is going to go deep, and he's going to throw into triple coverage. And if there were any hairs on Ron Lancaster's head that weren't gray, they are now.
No doubt, Cats are thinking at least 5. If you could get the first down, breathe easy. Eskimos only send 4. McManus again over the middle. No flags. Amerson had it pop out of his hands. Andrew Grigg is violently disturbed at the lack of a call. Amerson, who's had yeoman duties all day long. Folks, let's have a look.
A bang, bang play.
Oh, he did take a chuck in the shoulder there before the ball ended up there.
Comes down to 1 play now with 1:03 left. Yeah, he was hit before the ball got there. Amerson having a case, Grigg with a case.
Grigg, 1 wide receiver, out to the right-hand side. He goes right. Grigg's there. First down.
That play has been open for the Cats all day. Grigg now slow to get up. I think he might have injured his shoulder or an arm or something like that. He's down on the field, and that'll stop play for a little bit here. But that kind of deep in pattern, 15 yards down, and either slants it in with the post or takes it straight across the field.
He's winded. Look at him, he's clearly winded. He took a big time shot by Malcolm Frank.
I think you got it right there, Bubs. Knocked the wind out of him. Now,
nice looking ball by McManus.
It was. We've given McManus a bit of heat for not hitting his receivers or missing with the timing or something like that, but that ball was thrown at exactly the right pace, at exactly the right point.
Both of us have played football, and sometimes, I mean, people always ask, like, what is it when you're winded? And I think it's just a combination of taking a shot. Your emotions are at such an incredible high that you feel like you're gasping for air.
The adrenaline is pumping, and sometimes when you're landed on or when you're hit in that area, of course, it's going to knock, they say it knocks the wind out of you, and it kind of does. And what happens sometimes is it takes a second or two to kick in, and you feel this kind of pressing on your chest or in your stomach or something like that. And if the trainers have to come out, and of course, what can they do? You know, they know you're breathing, they know you're getting there. It's just not getting there fast enough is the problem. So they're going to try and you know, create some space for you, maybe lift your pads up or something like that. Cats at the 42 now. Time not really a factor. 57 seconds to play. 42, so you're looking at about a 49-yard field goal right now if you're Osbaldiston. Do you put the ball in the air once more and risk the interception? Do you run it twice with Smith, maybe gain a couple of yards and bring Ozzie down to 47?
Andrew Grigg, a fine player, coming up with a fine reception in a very crucial time. The Sault Ste. Marie product, and no one knows junior football better than you do, Phil, and I know you know about this guy.
Oh, one of the great receivers in junior football there, Sault Ste. Marie, and now real good find for the Cats because he's a Canadian. He's able to play wide receiver, and those guys are kind of few and far between, especially the good ones like Grigg. Good speed, not outstanding speed, but an excellent pair of hands.
I think you need to get to the 30-yard line, in my opinion. 43 seconds remaining. Play action. McManus goes over the top. Aikens, oh my goodness, it's too far.
And Aikens had about 5 steps on Frank. Frank expecting the run, kind of breaking down there, and Aikens heading towards the outside. Just got a little bit of a tug there, I think, from Frank. Nothing called on the play, but just that little bit. 5 yards overthrown.
They need to get closer, Phil, in my opinion. I really believe they have to. It's anytime you put put it into the hands of a 49-yard kick. That's not a guarantee. They need 10. They'll just run the football, and Jared Smith was a mere arm tackle away from breaking it.
He was an arm tackle away from an automatic Aussie field goal is what that was, because he just finished a yard or two short of the first down. I think the fans are wanting to go for it, but if he would have broken that tackle, it was empty space. It was green stuff ahead of him.
In his career, I can't tell you how many times he's been called upon. 17 years of ice in this man's veins. There's nothing that can be done to rock him. He'll either hit it or he won't. We've seen occasions in overtime right here at Ivor Wynne Stadium where he's hit it and they've won. And we even need to go back to Ottawa where he missed one from around this distance. Paul Esbaldison, 31 seconds remaining. Ivor Wynne will erupt if he can hit from 43 yards away. Out of the hole to Darren Flutie. Ozzie with a lot of length. Ozzie, it's wide. It's wide. It's wide. October will just take the single point. And with 19 seconds remaining, a lot of people stunned.
You counted on Ozzie for so much this year. Plenty of leg on this one as we've got the perfect angle from the end zone camera. Starts it off in good shape, but then it just kind of straightens out and bends a bit wide right.
And that may have sent the Ivor Wynne faithful packing. Wow. 19 seconds remaining. What can happen here? Anything, perhaps? Ivor Wynne fans are going home. The Cats, perhaps, their first loss at Ivor Wynne Stadium. 34-33. And the Eskimos will just have to sit on the ball on 2 occasions, and that will be it. An opportunity to win. Seen gone wide right. Wow. But what excitement. You would have never expected this after the way the Cats started off and were down 17-0. A very gutsy effort to get back into the football game, and we saw this team heat up. They were playing at a high level. But when you're playing the best team in the CFL, you've got to play a high level of football for 4 quarters.
Almost 3 separate football games here. Eskimos quickly up 17-0. Cats fighting back for the first half lead. Edmonton taking it to the Cats there in the 3rd quarter and early in the 4th. Cats fighting back. Coming up a point short.
There's the final gun. A win for the Edmonton Eskimos. They improved their record to 11-3, and the Cats in danger drop to 6-8.
And they're handed their first home loss, their sanctuary away from the losing efforts on the road, but coming up short today by a point.
Well, now things really get into a tizzy. As we said, the Argonauts, as we speak, playing the Montreal Alouettes in Montreal with an opportunity to tie the Cats with the 2nd seed. We send it down to Adidas Zdankovic.
Now, what a surprise. Jason Moss coming into this game, who we thought was only 80% on target. Looks like you might be a little more like 100%.
Well, I feel about 80%. I don't feel all that great, but this is a total team effort today. Our defense stepped up when they had to. Our offense just kept playing tough. John made some heck of a runs in the 4th quarter, and just hats off to everybody on our team for this one. I just came in and did my part and was just ready to go in at any time.
Talk a little bit about the way Avery's game has been for the past couple of games.
I tell you what, if we have an MVP on our team, I really believe it's John Avery. I mean, the guy's done some tremendous things, and you know, he's only getting better, and it's just a plus to have him back there.
And were you surprised that Higgins put you in, or was that something that you had talked about?
No, no one talked to me. They came up to me in the second half and asked if I could go, and I thought to myself at halftime, if things weren't going well, that we'd probably make a change, and that's the way it ended up. And I just wanted to be ready to do anything I could to help our team win.
Not bad for somebody who was expected to maybe play if Edmonton patches a clinching spot and that maybe they'd toss you in. Now they got tossed in a pretty crucial game here, it turned out to be.
This is the first extended period of time I played against Hamilton, and I've always wanted to play against them because they're such a tough defense to play against. So it's just such a challenge for your offense, and it's nice to play here at Ivor Wynne. I like playing. This is such a fantastic stadium, and the fans just get on you, and it's just a great atmosphere for football.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for the interview, and good luck with the recovery. Obviously looking like it's going pretty good right now.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Jason Moss, what a tremendous success he has been on the field today, taking over for Ricky Ray, unsuspectingly, not knowing that coach Tom Higgins will be throwing him in. Back to you guys, Bubba and Phil.
Unbelievable finish to this game. Paul Esbalison